fellow YouTubers, JJ the Trucker coming to you from western part of, that would be actually the southwestern part of Idaho. Getting ready to cross over into Oregon in about the next 15 minutes or so. And here's something you haven't seen in many of my videos. That's right, I'm passing another truck, and it's not even a prime truck. That's right, speed limit right here is 70 miles an hour, and Bev is going 70 miles an hour. Yes, we are at 70. Woo! Not even going downhill. Yeah. So more on that in a little bit. We are back to work. Look at that. There we go. Passing quickly too. Go, Speed Racer, go! Oh man, all right, so we are back to work. I'm heading up to Walla Walla, Washington this Friday morning. Gonna pick up a load. Hold on. Gonna pick up a load of something. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm picking it up from a refrigerated company. This is a place where I visited, a chain of places I visited multiple times at Prime, having a reefer unit. I don't have a reefer unit, but it says it just needs a dry van, and you know that it's just regular goods. So I'm not really sure. I mean, everybody says it's dry van, so I'm just not sure why it's at this particular storage facility that is cold. So, but we'll find out more when we get there, I'm sure. Anyways, and I'm taking it all the way to New Jersey. Woo-wee! Yeah. And it's a heavy load too. So I know you might be wondering, if you haven't watched my last video, why, JJ, why are you taking a heavy load from Walla Walla, Washington, which I have to deadhead nearly 5 hours for, Walla Walla, Washington, all the way to New Jersey, and it's a heavy load? Man, well, watch my last video. You'll find out why. There's a really good reason for it, and that really good reason is in the form of 5 figures. So, yeah. Anyways, so we are back to work. I enjoyed my time off. 6 days off. It was nice. Got to visit with my sister and my brother-in-law. Had a great time with them. That was pretty awesome. And I was only planning on taking about 4 days off. I'm glad I ended up taking the full 6. It was more dictated by this load than anything, because I didn't need to leave until today to pick this load up. But ended up getting some extra stuff done. Really good. So everything is done that I needed to get done. So I'm happy. So what did I do? Well, I spent a lot of time with my boys there in the Peterbilt dealership, Jackson Group Peterbilt in Boise, Idaho. Big shout out to those guys. Huge shout out. These guys are awesome. They always have been. I've never had a single issue with them. I don't expect that I ever will. They're just, everybody there is nice. I walk in and they're like, hey, JJ. It's kind of like being at Cheers. Hold on, let me make this pass here. It's kind of like being at Cheers, everybody knows your name. And it's not just me, other people walk in that they know, and, everybody's calling everybody first name basis, and they remember you. They're not, they're busy, but they're not overly busy like many of the other Peterbilt dealerships that are out there. All right, what's going on up here? All right, we're good. All right, give me a moment here while I make this pass on the oversize. Move over a bit for him. And no, I didn't have the lane departure warning moved. I just turned it off because I knew I'd be doing this. good. So yeah, so they're not overly busy. You know, you don't even need to make an appointment. I get in same day. In fact, today was, Saturday when I arrived, there was a little bit of a wait. I had to wait before they pulled me into a bay, and it was an extensive wait of an hour and a half. That's it, an hour and a half of a wait. That was it, and they pulled me right in. What did we have done? A lot of stuff. First and foremost, 120,000 miles on my baby here. 120,000 miles. So the 120,000 mile maintenance is pretty extensive. It's a lot of checks. Check this, check that, check. A few, you know, replacements and replace if needed and stuff like that, which they did all that. A couple of annual items that need to be replaced. Air compressor, filter, and the recirculating in-cab air filter. Those are the two annuals. They got those knocked out. A couple of issues I was having. One was a weird knocking noise coming from the driver's side suspension area, and I've had this issue before, where it would knock, you know, especially on, like hitting a pothole or some bumpy roads, and it would be a pretty loud, distinctive knock. And they fixed it. They found that the U-bolts were just a little loose. They just weren't torqued all the way, and so they corrected that, and then it came back, but only when it was raining. So only when it was raining, or after I'd had an engine wash, like if the area was wet, in other words, it would do it again. And once again, the U-bolts were not torqued. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that to see if it happens a third time. All the other U-bolts were fine. They were torqued properly or close to. It's just the driver's side front, for some reason, was a bit off. All right, give me a second here. Got a pilot car plus another oversize merging on. Got a little bit of busyness here going on. That pilot vehicle's like, wait a minute, you're not mine. He's the pilot vehicle for the one that we passed earlier. This guy just merged on the highway. We got another one here coming up. But we'll let this four-wheeler behind me pass if he wants to. So anyways, let's see. The other issue I had was with the remote, the door remote. Two issues. One ended up that it wasn't really an issue. They changed something in the light testing. The remote has the ability to start a light test. You can do it from the dash too. But when I got it, you were able to do the light test when the engine was off, and it was fine. And then it stopped working, which was weird. It would only do it when It would only do it when it was when the engine was on. Wonder what big old project they got going on up here. Moving all this stuff. All right. Woo, feels nice to make that pass nice and easy. Of course, I'm empty right now. I'm deadheading, so that helps. All right, cruise control back on. We're good. So apparently it's normal now. They made that change. It was in a software update. It has nothing to do with the remote system. Why they made that change, I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense to me at all that the engine has to be on to perform the light test. Other than maybe a battery issue, but still, look, you got to do your pre-trip with the engine off. At least starting it, when you're doing your walk around, checking the engine and all that stuff, you're doing it with the engine off. At least you're supposed to if you're going to be checking the belts, especially, and poking around in there. Probably best to have it off. Do not check your belt on a running engine, okay? Just saying, not a good idea. So I don't know, but now you have to have it on. The other issue I'm having is very intermittent, to where you go to unlock it with the remote, and it doesn't always unlock the driver's side door. It'll unlock the baggage door, it'll unlock the passenger side door, but not the driver's side door. And to fix it, you have to walk around to the passenger side door, open it, close it, walk around to the driver's side door, and it'll be unlocked. Weirdest, freakiest thing I've ever seen. But that's what it is. So they looked and they tried to recreate. They couldn't. I had a video of it, so they were going to replace the module, but they didn't have it in stock. So I gotta work on getting that. It's very intermittent. Doesn't happen all the time, so not a big deal. All right, let's get on to the big changes that were made. Let's see. I had a new CB antenna installed on the passenger side. And on the driver's side, I took out the stock antenna and replaced it with a cellular booster antenna. So I'm going to get that all hooked up now, see how that works. So all the wiring was done on that. Looks nice and professionally done. And let's see, what else? Oh yeah, I got the governor removed. Okay, I didn't get the governor removed. Got it changed from 65 up to 75. Man, another pass. I guess that's the biggest difference, is I'm making a lot more passes now on these slower vehicles. I didn't realize that there were this many slow vehicles. So yeah, got the governor moved up to 75. That is a Peterbilt thing at 75 because of the tire rating. They can only set the governor up to the highest or to the lowest rated tire, which all my tires are rated for 75. Look at my last short for that. If I were to get my own trailer and get the what are they, the M rated tires, then those go up to 80, but that's okay. Those are a lot more expensive. They're hard to find. You know, just 75 is going to be fine. There's not that many speed limits above 75 for trucks anyway. 75 is good. So we'll test that out. Also got the transmission moved from economy mode to performance mode. Hold on. All right, what that is going to do is that's going to allow it a little more RPM prior to shifting. It'll downshift sooner going uphill. It'll downshift later, accelerating, things like, or upshift later, accelerating, stuff like that. I haven't tested it yet, but tomorrow, maybe tonight, I'll be going up Cabbage Hill. That will be a really good test of how this truck's performing in performance mode. And instead of starting at the bottom of the hill going 65, I'll have a little bit more momentum going 75. So we'll see. I think 75 is the speed limit there. I'll get back with you on that one. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. I'm excited to try that out. Let's see. The other prime restriction was on the windshield wipers. So the windshield wipers have 3 intermittent settings, and then a low and then a high. Okay. The factory setting from Peterbilt says you can be in the intermittent settings, the 3 intermittent settings, and still be in cruise control. But as soon as you go to the low setting, it kills the cruise control for safety. You know, you don't want to be using your cruise while it's raining or while the roads are slick. And you figure if the windshield wipers have to be on low, the roads are going to be slick. So really, if you got to be on level 3 intermittent, the roads are probably still going to be pretty wet and slick. So anyways, Prime's restriction was even at level 1, nope, not at all, not going to happen. No cruise control. So even if I needed to quickly clean the windshield without the spray, and I just wanted to do this number right there, boom, cruise control dead. So got that fixed, got that removed. Thank goodness. That was a royal pain in the butt. Did not like that at all. But that was a Prime rule. You know, what can you do? So now it's good. It's fixed. Let's see. The other thing was with the cruise control, the plus and minus settings. So factory comes at a plus minus 3, I believe. And make some space here on these guys. So factory comes at a ±3. And what that means is, let's say your cruise control is set at 65. When you start going up a hill, it will dog it all the way down to 62 before it really starts accelerating back up. Sometimes they'll even put it in neutral during that time, and then at 63 it'll start kicking back up. All right, everybody, welcome to Oregon. 65 for trucks. Oh man, see, that's stuff I didn't really have to pay attention to before, you know. Except for California. All right, slow it down a little. All right, we're back to 65. Oh, which means I'm not going to get that running head start going up Cabbage Hill. 65 is the max. Whatever. Anyways, so yeah, back to that the minus setting. So it was a -3 and then a +3. So when you start going downhill, when your cruise is set to 65, it'll get up to 68 before trying to slow you down. Depending on what Jake brake setting you had it on, it'll use the Jake brakes and downshifting as needed to try to keep you at 68 or lower. Doesn't always work that way, especially on steep downhills, but it's okay. It definitely helps. Well, I wanted the minus part to be as 0 if possible, but the lowest the best they can do is a -2. That's the best setting you can do on that. They cannot do it -1 or a 0. So I've already had it at -2, and on the plus side, I wanted it at a +5. I had it at a +5 for a little bit. Van and TLG thought it might be better to be at a +6, which is the max it can go. I still wanted it at a +5 because it's easier to manage. You don't want to get too fast above your cruise control because, let's say, speed limit is 70 and you're going 65, you start going downhill, you want to hit 70. 71 wasn't a big deal, honestly, in a 70. But when you're in an area where the speed limit is 65, like this, well, you don't want to be hitting 70, 71. And especially if you're in California where the speed limit is 55, you want it to be a lot tighter. You do not want to be in California going, on an interstate going 61 miles an hour. They will get you. The California Highway Patrol, chips, they'll get you. Believe me. So now that I've got the cruise, or the governor, up to where I want it, I went ahead and had them tighten it all up to a +2, -2. So that way I can set my cruise control to where I want it. And I'm only going to be going +2, -2, which is not a big deal. Won't have to worry about, constantly changing it. Because again, going downhill in a 65 mile an hour zone, I would either have to kill the cruise control and start manually taking over, or I have to press the down button, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back up again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back down again. These areas where there's lots of hills, Missouri on the 44, for example, okay, going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. What's the point of even having cruise control at that point? So now it will work as it should. I'm happy about it. So yeah. Whew, let's see, anything else that I got taken care of? As I look around, got my laundry done, got my shopping done. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I had to get, it's chain season now. You got to have your chains in most states, and more states are going to add it as the time goes by. But you have to have chains or tire socks. And I've always carried socks. No, not a big deal. I've never used them. So they're still in the package, under my bunk, no problem. And then Ross over at Johnson's Logic and I were talking about it. And he switched out his super singles for duals. Why, I have no idea. plenty of good tread on the singles. I don't know what the deal was there, but anyways, so he had to get rid of all of his chains. He had chains, and he had to buy a whole new set. And that got me thinking, oh man, the trailers that I'm hauling are duals, not super singles. So the set of socks that I've got for the trailer have to be replaced. So I had to go out and get me a set of tire socks that are made for duals, for the right tire size. So got that taken care of. And so yeah, everybody's been asking me, well, are you going to get duals now that you're not with Prime, or why are you running super singles? Look, that's call that question of the week, question of the month. That is my number one question lately. So look, here's the answer on that. I'm not switching. Okay, I'm not switching. Why? First of all, I still have a lot of tread left on these tires. I'm not going to throw away perfectly good tires for no reason at all, really. Okay. Second of all, if I do switch out to duals, not only am I going to end up having to buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 new tires. 8 new tires to switch it out, but 8 new rims as well. 8 tires, 8 rims, plus the labor. I don't even want to know how much that is. But again, why? Why would I do that? I've never had a problem with super singles. Super singles are durable. They do last a little bit longer. You have just the same amount of chance of getting a flat. Actually, a little bit less chance of getting a flat because you have less overall contact surface. And the blowout chances, again, blowout is different than a flat. A blowout is when the tire explodes and you've got shrapnel going and pieces flying everywhere, causing damage. The chances of a blowout on a super single are much lower than on a dual, which means 2 things. 1, less damage to the truck, or in this case the truck, or the front of the trailer. And this whole thing about the only real advantage the duals have over the super singles is that if one does go flat, you have a better chance of limping it to a service station to get it replaced. Okay? As opposed to super singles where they say you can't do that. That is complete BS. 100% complete BS. Now granted, if it's a blowout, a true blowout, yes, you're stuck, you're on the side of the road, nothing you can do. Okay? If it's not a blowout, if it's just a flat, then yes, you can still limp it carefully. Okay, depending on which tire blows out, you may need to set your, lock your rear differential axles to get the other axle driving, to be a drive axle. But yes, I've done it. We've done it twice. It was both in training, but yeah, did it twice. Once on the trailer, once on the drives. Hold up here. And yeah, we were able to limp it both times without issues, without damage. Didn't damage the rim, didn't damage anything else. It worked perfectly fine. So yeah, but there is a rare chance that that could happen. But I've also seen plenty of duals on the side of the road that have blown out and caused a lot of damage, and they're on the side of the road anyway. Can't make it, can't limp it. So I don't know. The advantages to super singles just seem to still outweigh the quote-unquote advantages to the duals. To me, again, fuel savings, they're lighter, which means I can haul more flexibility. So, why would I spend all that extra money and waste perfectly good tread on my tires for the rare possibility of maybe being able to limp a flat tire, as opposed to the super singles? It just doesn't make financial and logical sense to me. Now, I will say my next truck, trucks generally do come with duals. And if my next truck comes with duals, I won't switch them out for super singles. Pretty much the same reason why, waste the perfectly good tires and rims and buy all new tires and rims for that. That wouldn't make sense either. So, all right, that's my rant of the week. Thank you guys for listening. As always, hope you enjoyed the scenery. It has been good for me. Hope it's been good for you. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Bye-bye.